And now that we've gone through some of the news, let's segue into the latest episode of Kayla Knows Nothing. We'll be talking about Valar Dohaeris, the Season 3 premiere. And by the way, I think we are going to go through 2 episodes at a time in select weeks going forward, so we're all caught up by the time Season 7 rolls around.
Gotta be ready.
Although I'll try to make sure we watch 1 episode at a time for the big ones. So we'll keep that spicy. Anyway, Kayla.
Extra spicy.
Season 3 premiere. We started with a very rare cold open.
Yeah.
North of the wall.
I thought I had missed the intro.
I know, it's weird and jarring when that happens.
But thank heavens that Sam, is alive and well.
He survived his encounter with the zombie hordes, and he's okay. But what now? It looks like the Night's Watch is kind of scattered, or not just diminished. Mm-hmm. They're in a bind.
Yes.
They're on the run.
Yes.
Did they succeed in their mission to go north of the wall?
I don't know. I haven't figured that whole thing out yet.
Fair enough. Like, what's confusing you?
Okay, are the Night's Watch the same as White Walkers?
No, the Night's Watch is what Jon and
right.
the order
okay.
they belong to.
But
They're
are there still White Walkers among them?
Among them? No. The White Walkers are the weird ice zombie people riding on the horses.
I thought I saw another zombie within the camp. I don't know. I was in and out.
Fair enough. No, the Night's Watch are the guys who are trying to stop the White Walkers. That's
that
the
Jon is
order that
currently
Jon
with.
belongs to.
Gotcha.
I mean, right now. Well, speaking of Jon, he's not exactly with the Night's Watch right now.
No.
He is deep in Wildling country, going undercover. How is that going for him?
I think he's playing it well.
You think? I thought so
like
too.
Like he should, yeah.
He met a couple of new characters. Mance Rayder, the king beyond the wall, took his measure. Did he bluff his way past that guy?
I think so. He's easy on the eyes.
Jon Snow?
Yeah.
Okay, or Mance Rayder.
He can get away with it. No, Jon Snow.
Fair enough. And kind of the excuse he gave was, I want to join you guys because you're actually the ones who want to fight the White Walkers, and the Night's Watch is kind of ignoring the problem.
Is this a stupid question?
Yeah.
Why do the Night's Watch and Wildlings not like each other?
That's the way it's been for thousands of years.
Why can't they just team up and fight the White Walkers together?
I think that's the question. That's the question. That would be the smart thing to do.
Okay.
I think the problem is overcoming these prejudices. You know, the Wildlings have lived beyond the wall for thousands of years, and the Night's Watch is at the wall, guarding the rest of the country from whatever's beyond the wall.
I see.
So they're kind of natural enemies. But for a long time, they've been fighting the Wildlings, and they didn't really have to worry about White Walkers that weren't really around. They're only coming back now. So now it seems like it's the time to band together, but the question is, can they put aside their differences and do it?
I think they should.
Do you think they will?
Well, probably not, because the show loves conflict.
It does love conflict, but I mean, Jon Snow is embedded in there now. Jon Snow's a Night's Watchman. Jon Snow's now with the Wildlings. Maybe he can bring them together.
I think he can. If anyone can, it's Jon Snow.
I hope so. And then...
You're so nice to act surprised and you don't know what happens in the next 5 seasons.
I mean, I swear to God, I'm not giving it away explicitly. I hope he does too. Just because I know it may or may not happen doesn't mean I can't hope. And then Ygritte is still around too, flirting with Jon Snow, flirting up a storm.
They just need to get together already.
Remember, he did swear a vow of celibacy and join us the Night's Watch.
Yeah, but...
It could be, but whatever. It's fine. Anyway, moving on. I think the bulk of our stuff happened in King's Landing this week, where a lot of interesting stuff happened. We're kind of all regrouping after the big battle. What's Tyrion's situation like right now?
I feel bad for Tyrion. He kind of seems lost a little.
Right. I mean, he's no longer Hand of the King. His father's taken that role. He's kind of been shoveled away in this little...
His father's not nice to him.
His father is really bad to him. Why? They have a talk, and Tyrion basically asks for his inheritance, and his father says what?
No.
Tywin. No. He says no, but in the meanest way possible. He calls him, what was it, an ill-formed, spiteful creature?
How do you talk to your child that way?
Why do you think he hates him? He clearly has a problem with him.
Well, is it because that his wife died in childbirth with him?
Definitely part of it, yeah.
Because he's, what do they call him? A half person?
Half-man, dwarf.
Half-man.
I think he thinks he's an embarrassment.
He's my favorite one.
I know. He's a lot of folks' favorite ones.
He tried to rally the troops in battle.
And it worked. I mean, he was successful, but he still gets, like, no respect. He's the
Hashtag
Rodney
no
Dangerfield of Westeros.
Yeah, I think his time will come. We just need to be patient.
Okay. And then Cersei, how about that? Is he justified in being so worried about her? When she comes to visit him, he's afraid she's going to kill him. So he
and she always knows what's going on because she has all of her spies. I'm always afraid that he's going to get caught with the girl. I don't want them to separate.
Right, Shay.
Yes.
Who's still around. She's still attending Sansa.
She is.
Being that stand-up gal she is. And how about Sansa, too? She seems to have accepted Littlefinger's help, at least tentatively, to get her out of there.
She seems happier.
You think she seems really?
She was a lot, more carefree, I thought, in this episode.
I guess she wasn't, bawling her eyes out at whatever horrible thing that's happening to her. That's an improvement. I'm not sure She
didn't have that, face anymore.
Dog in the deer in the headlights thing.
Right.
And she was playing a game.
Yeah.
Shay, guess the ships. Is it a fun game? Can I play that game?
She just seemed more relaxed and at ease. And I think she should go with Littlefinger. I still don't know if I trust him, but anything's probably better than staying there.
I think you're a good idea. I mean, you're right. He's not trustworthy, but neither is anybody else. Do we have a question?
Sonia wants to know, how can Kayla only watch one episode a week? Isn't it hard not to watch more?
It is, at times. If there's a big episode, yes. There have been times where I've wanted to watch the next one, but I want it to be fresh in my mind
Good point.
When we do, winter's coming.
And like I said, Sonia, I think going forward, we're going to watch 2 at a time, at
I'm up for watching
least
more.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Because we want to be all caught up by the time season 7 rolls around. Another question? Or comment?
Kayla Lindsay wants to point out that Kayla, you look great too, not just you, Dan.
Oh, well, thank you, Lindsay.
There's a whole story behind this, Lindsay. Basically, Carm called my outfit ugly, so I had to step up my game and bring nicer shirts. So I'll be trying to do that more often. And yes, Kayla, you look very nice.
Carm, who's serving as our executive producer, gave us critiques. And one of them was that Dan wear dressier shirts, which I liked your wardrobe before, so.
I did too, just Carm didn't. Just that. I'm sorry. Carm's wonderful.
Thank you.
Anyway, back to what's going on in Westeros. The other character we get a good look at this week, it was kind of, I mean, she's not brand new, but she's a new player to King's Landing, is Marjorie Tyrell, who's Joffrey's fiance now.
Yeah. Okay, I think she reminds me of Princess Di.
How so?
She's one with the people.
She's a people's princess.
Yeah.
I like that, yeah.
Totes. She stopped their, what was it,
Litter? That's what a litter.
Litter.
Yeah.
Through
they carry you
town.
around.
Yes. To go see children in an orphanage.
It was
I
very
love her.
cute. Yeah, she was great. And she stepped through the muddy puddle. She was like, I got other dresses.
I don't
it's
think that was
fine."
mud.
Oh, good call. It is medieval times. We don't have plumbing yet.
Yep. But no, she has more of the princess royalty feel than Sansa did.
Definitely.
Sansa was learning everything. Everything was new. She just seems like she's already done this before and knows what's going on.
Do you think that, should Sansa seek her out? Because she seems like a friendly person.
I think they could be friends.
And she's a she's a threat to Cersei, right? Because she'll be the new queen when they get married to Joffrey.
And she's a lot nicer.
A lot nicer. Do you think Cersei's a little upset about that? Or a little spooked or scared?
She seems to be, putting her claws out a bit.
And there was that one comment I caught, they were at dinner and Cersei's like, nice outfit. You look kind of cold. Which is the classic, you're dressed too skankily.
Right.
This is a little preview. That's the first in a long line of passive-aggressive comments they'll do back to each other. They have a long rivalry, those two. That'll be fun. But yeah, she's an interesting character. Do you think
she's everything Cersei's not?
She is. Do you think her charity is... Do you think she really believes in that? Or do you think she's doing this for PR purposes at all?
I would hope she's genuine in her actions and words.
Me too. So I think it'll be fun to watch her develop because she is a cool character and has to bring some new stuff to the show.
She hasn't given me any red flags thus far.
Right, and she shouldn't.
Okay.
She did say she wants to be the queen. She's ambitious. We can say that, but it doesn't mean that she's a bad person.
Right.
We'll see how that develops as it goes on. Meanwhile, nearby King's Landing, back on Dragonstone, Captain John Smith, or is John Smith. Captain Smith, Davos Seaworth. We'll start calling him his name soon. I'll give it another week.
Thanks.
Survived the battle.
Yeah.
And got back to Dragonstone.
Was stranded on a rock.
Yeah. They go
Did he ever make it to land, or was he like?
He didn't. He was blown up. He
On
was
the
on the
ships.
boats
Okay.
when the thing went off.
Gotcha.
And he just must have swam. In the book, they describe like how he got thrown off and he just started to swim and found a rock and just kind of, that was it. He couldn't get back.
He did not look good.
He looked terrible. He had almost like marks on his face,
What is that called?
really dry skin.
I don't know. Yeah, something about the sun and the salt water, and it was gross.
Yeah. But thankfully, he got picked up and he made it back to Dragonstone where he talked to his king and his king's creepy fire priestess lady. And what happened there?
He tried to kill her.
He did, which, good idea, bad idea, justified, not justified?
I mean, she's scary, so I don't blame him.
To achieve a point, she said that if I had been there during the battle, I might have been able to do something.
I'm
'cause
not
all
quite
magic and
sure, yeah, what she's capable of, so I believe her on that take.
stuff. Right. And remember,
I wouldn't want to mess with her.
And remember, he was the one who convinced Stannis not to bring her. He was like, she's weird. Everyone thinks she's like whispering in your ear that she's the real power here.
Would he
Don't
call
bring
her the mother of
Mother of demons, something like
Demons,
that. Which,
yeah,
you know,
evil
which
spirits.
fair. I mean,
We did watch her give birth to one, so makes sense.
It's not like it's slander if it's true. So he's in a tough spot right now.
And now he's being thrown in a cell?
dungeons.
Okay.
But they're all still around, so Stannis will live to fight another day, or at least live another day.
But he has no troops.
He has no troops. He's very, he's in a tough spot.
He's in a dark place.
in a dark place.
Literally.
He's
That was a really
already dark
depressing
before.
scene.
Speaking of all the troops and the army, someone else who needs an army is Daenerys.
She does.
So she's out of that weird city with the blue
On
people.
her boat with her dragons.
And her Dothraki.
And the sunshine.
And the next step is to get an army. The
Yes.
sunshine, so it's a nice change of scenery. And she goes to
She's always so cheery. Even when she's sad, she has like a sweet face.
I can see that, yeah. She has maybe that's why people want to follow her. And she'll need that if she wants to take back the Iron Throne to inspire loyalty. Anyway, she's considering buying this giant old slave army called the Unsullied, who are like these weird, like robot people who get super trained and they don't flinch when you cut their nipples off.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, that was so gross.
That was pretty gross.
Yes. Oh, made me shiver. It was really gross.
That's grosser than I remember it being.
Oh, I forgot that happened. So they're real people, right?
They're
or no?
people. They're just
That just feel nothing?
they're
I guess.
Yeah, basically they're
And
just.
then he was like, "Thank you, I'm
they're
happy to
trained
serve
since-
you."
Yeah, it's creepy as hell. They're trained from like a really, really early age to just kind of suppress all emotion and just be fighters. And they said the way they do that is
that
to put them through
humanly
all
possible?
these horrible trials. I mean, in the books they say
Sounds
something
fun.
like they have like a drink, they drink a lot, and it kind of dulls their senses. But
Yeah, I'd say so.
they're slaves. It's hard to tell if they're happy or not. So, but Daenerys's kind of dilemma is: does she want to be the kind of queen who fights with slaves? Does she?
That is tricky. I mean, girl needs an army, so
It's in an army. And as Jorah pointed out, I mean, they'd be slaves, but at least she'd treat them better than this
right.
jackass does.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what counts, is how she's treating them.
Right. So do you think she should purchase some?
Is that her only option right now?
I mean, not necessarily. She can go hide out somewhere until the dragons get bigger. She can go try to petition other armies to join her voluntarily rather than buying a bunch of weird nippleless slaves.
I don't know.
But that's
I
like
think,
the option that's before her right now.
I think she'll take whatever's in front of her.
Right. And make do with it.
Yes.
Finally, do you remember the guy who saved her at the end from the little...
Have we seen him before?
We have.
When?
I actually recall in season 1 we were talking about this. I asked you, like, do you remember that guy? And you were like, no.
Also, that little girl was the creepiest thing I've ever seen.
So she's from the blue people, right, with the blue teeth.
Ugh.
He was in season 1. He was one of the guards of King Robert, of Fat King Robert.
Okay.
And Joffrey fired him because he's too old. And there's a whole scene where he's like, I'm out of here. I don't need this. I'm going.
Yes.
In
Did he go
season 1.
boar hunting with him or no?
He was boar hunting with him, yeah.
Okay.
So he
okay.
was in King's Landing. He knows all about it. And he's been around for a long time. He served Daenerys' father, too.
So he'd be good to have on staff.
Who'd be good to have on staff. So do you think she should accept him into her service?
I do.
Of course, why not? He saved her from a little thing, and he is very strong, apparently, according to
He's already proven
Jorah.
himself to be loyal.
Precisely. And finally, the last thing we'll check on really quick is Rob and company. So they arrived at Harrenhal, here-ish. which is this. Oh no, wait, right there. Which is the same place where Arya was holed up last season with Tywin and stuff. Only the Lannisters have now gone.
Okay.
Rob's moved in. What's their situation like?
So that all the people that were dead there were the ones living there before Arya
They were
left?
Stark prisoners that were being held there back when Tywin was in the place.
Do we know who killed them?
Lannisters.
Oh.
Because I think their strategy, like Rob said, is they're kind of running away. They're not engaging. They're just kind of leading them on a chase, and they're making Rob's men a little frustrated. Like they would rather prefer a battle, but they're just saying, "We're going to go. We're going to leave you this creepy sight of all these dead people here, and we're not going to actually fight you."
Yeah, that was disturbing. And he's still treating his mother like a prisoner, which that makes me sad.
Should he?
No.
Remember, she did let Jamie, and he's still out there. Jamie's still out
Where?
there.
Yeah, where are they? We haven't seen.
We didn't see them this
this
episode,
week.
but they're still wandering. They're still heading to King's Landing. So if they're here, they're somewhere in the middle on foot. So it's going to take him a little while.
So he's still mad that Mama Catelyn set him free, essentially.
Yes.
Okay.
Not just mad, but also if he doesn't give her some kind of punishment, his other lords are going to get really mad that he's going to let that slide. So he's in a tough spot.
Tricky.
Any other final thoughts, Kayla, about the season 3 premiere?
No, I'm excited to dive in.
Hooray.
See what this season might bring.
Exactly.
There's already more like magic and sci-fi and special effects.
There wasn't a ton here, was there? Except for the dragons
Dragons,
and the
the
zombies.
girl, the little
The girl,
bug.
yeah. All the Marissa stuff, though.
Okay.
We'll be going through. I think next week we'll do episodes 2 and 3, so stay tuned for that. And otherwise, we'll see you guys next week. Valar, goodbye.